Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing this morning? Hey, Mohammed, Mother Truck. Hey, Juan, what's going on? Everybody all right? Hey, Travis, JB, Bakwan, Johnny, Trademaker, how you doing? Hey, Lonigan. Oh, the whole crew's here. Nice trade, Travis. Well done on that rotation up. Well done. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Had I put the weekend update out, and hopefully you guys got a chance to see it. I've been doing them on Sundays. I figure I don't know if I should be doing them on Saturdays or Sundays. I figured most people on Sunday will pay more attention if I do it closer to the Sunday Open. I'm not sure. We'll see. What do you guys prefer? Let me know. I figured if I do it on Saturday, by the time Sunday rolls around, everybody's forgotten what I'm saying. Let's see what we've got. Overnight inventory is nice and long. You can see we've got our close of business on Friday, right? We've got some single prints here, so overnight inventory is long. The shorts are trapped under the base of that P. And I told you guys on the weekend update, I said what they're going to do is they're going to take this inventory and they're going to sell it up here. And that's exactly what they've did, right? You had a liquidation, but you didn't have that much to liquidate, right? You had this day and then the overnight profile from the big pump and dump, right? So you dumped it all, grabbed that inventory, take it back up to resell it for profit, and then we just came and tested those single prints and launched right off of that area again. So we are inside Friday's range, okay? And we're in a little bit of a distribution area here. So we've got Friday's inventory. So think of this as Friday's stale donuts. We're selling them at night and early morning. We'll be looking for this to test as RTH rolls up on us. Right now, if we don't get this, right, the normal course of business is to sell enough inventory here and then put it on sale, right? Because that's generally what happens. So if you want to think about markets this way, and this is actually the common sense way of thinking about them, you take this, you go sell it here. Now there's two things that can happen. One, that you can run out of buyers and you've got to price it back down to cost basis, right? Because this is cost basis. This is how much we paid for the stuff. This is how much we're retailing out for to make a profit. And then you put it on sale right back down to cost basis. If things get really ugly, you've got to discount it underneath cost basis and take a loss, right? But generally, if you sell enough up here, you can offset the losses on what the rest of your inventory is, right? That's just business. Now, sometimes if you maintain price steady like this and enough buyers come in, you can slowly start creeping it back up to here. That's why sometimes you get a P profile and then you'll get a move up off of a P profile, right? So those are the two scenarios we're looking for. Either way, it's going to be an inside day. Any change takes us outside Friday's high or Friday's low. But other than that, it's business as usual. Probably looking at something like that. Okay? So those are our expectations, right? We know what to look for. There's that 64.93 half area that we just could not break. We've tried over an hour to break it. We haven't been able to. So it's a little plugged up right now. Point of controls right here. All-time high rollover. It's tough, my bias is inventory, you know? My bias is inventory. Inventory and order flow. And I wrote this earlier. There's always one person who says it's going to go 100 points lower or 100 points higher. That's great, but just remember your opinion means nothing unless the order flow matches what you are saying. So when we got down here, there were so many bids, right? And of course, the normal reaction is to be short biased, right? Because overnight inventory is long, you're looking for a breakdown. So if you are short, what you have to say is after a move like that in J period, how much time and money are you going to devote to your short position? How sure of you that the market's going to go lower? That's one thing. The other thing is, how much money are you going to put into that thought, right? And how much time are you going to devote to that business transaction? So it's okay to be short biased, right? But if the market doesn't break 64.93 and a half, you got to start having second thoughts, right? Right. The other thing is how much money can you devote to that trade? How much time and money can you devote to that business transaction, right? Are you willing to hold it for 6 hours and to spend a ton of capital on it? And at what point do you say, Uncle, I'm out, like I'm done, right? If you're short 64, 97, 98, 99, and the market's trading at 65.07, do you have the capital to hold that trade that long? Now, how are you going to trade out of it? What are your options? These are the things we have to think of for you folks, right? And it's very good to actually let the chart tell us what's going on, because if the chart's telling us, look, man, there's bids at 93 and a half and underneath that are not getting filled, that's a place you want to be covering. Yeah, the sim life is easy, right? Because you short, you get stopped out, you reset the sim. But when it's real money, Johnny has a very valid point. When it's real money, how much of that money are you willing to put up, right? And how wrong are you willing to be? The other thing is how wrong can you afford, right? What can you afford? Because if you're trying to hold a trade, and you're looking for like 64.20, right? We're 70 points away from that, and you've got a $3,000 account. It's not really, like, you got to get with reality, right? There has to be the reality of your situation. That's what I'm just trying to tell people going forward in this next 3 to 4 months. It's not going to be an easy trading environment. And that's why we we invite you to come to our room and spend some time with us. We can teach you how to trade properly and how to manage your risk properly so you're not out there on the raw and ragged edge trying to figure things out while you're losing money, right? Before you go into a trade, everything should be planned out. This way, you're never stuck, right? What do I do, right? We always want you to be prepared. Have a couple of scenarios and always be, we want you to train yourself to react because basically trading is training yourself to react to change. When things change, you react, right? Yeah, deer in the headlights is the worst, right? People who freeze, they get punished for it, right? When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. That's Hunter S. Thompson, Mike. Very famous American author. Right? Hunter S. Thompson. When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. Exactly. I grew up reading his stuff, which was you know, kind of a good preparation for trading. And now we're just stuck here. Let's see what happens when London opens. Yeah, I was actually on a teaching call when J period opened, and we were looking at those single prints, and there was quite a bid down there. Quite a bid. Okay. This is pretty slow. I'll just sit and watch. So we get some news tomorrow, and I was told that we have an Apple event. But for now, we're waiting for some more people to come into the store. Okay. Any questions? You guys want to talk about anything? While we're waiting, we'll see if thing we'll see if this thing moves, okay? We'll give it another 15, 20 minutes. And if it's just stuck in a range, we'll let you guys go a little early. No point just sitting around. Hey, Mohammed, how you doing? Weekend went quick, eh, folks? Holy crow! You already asked your question. Big level going through for the overnight session is 64.93 and a half to the downside. To the upside, 65.02. $64.60. I think, Travis, what I meant was probably that stop right here, right? All of that inventory is kind of perched on that 64.60. If that breaks, we might get some lower prices. But right now, pretty brutal price action. We had this really one nice move that I missed, and now we're into distribution above VWAP. So it's okay. I'm sure we'll get lots of action later on this week. Creeping up. Let's see if we can take that stop at 6,500 and a half. There's just enough buying to keep it up above 64.97. Not enough buying to take out the 65.01s. And nobody needs to sell under 64.97. So, yeah. How to avoid to sit a whole day behind a screen? Great question. When it's like this, get away from the screen. If I wasn't on with you guys right now and I came in and I looked at this and I saw this over the last 5-10 minutes, I'd be like, I'd go do something else. Right? What you want now, first of all, you put context in, right? Usually Mondays are a little slow in Globex, but when you see candles like this, you'll get one big move, and if you miss that move, you're going to be stuck for hours. So right now, that's why if London opens in what 9 minutes, when London opens and if nothing happens, I'm going to let you guys go half an hour early because I'm not going to make you sit and just watch a candle move a point every minute, right? There's just no reason to waste your time, right? And people will sit for hours. And here's what happens, right? You have to know when to get away from the screen. There's a reason for this. Because when you get away from the screen, it lets your mind relax. And so when it is busy and tradable, you will actually have the mental capacity to take good trades. Otherwise, what happens is you sit and you watch this, you get tempted to do some trades, you get stopped out. Next thing you know, you've stopped yourself out a couple of times, right? Or you've driven yourself to a point of boredom that's horrible, right? Yeah, you get hallucinations of a setup, right? Just step away. Does that make sense, Deeks? You will preserve your mental, your emotional, your physical capital, right? It's just like in any business. You know, sometimes business is good, sometimes it's really slow, right? Hey, Jerry, how you doing? The best time to trade is when the order flow is good. Some people have certain times that they like to trade. Usually the London Open's not bad, right? The problem is, remember what I said, we're at all-time highs, which makes the order flow a little less predictable. And there's not that many people who are willing to come in and do business at all-time highs, you see? Most people, large traders, they would have put, if you were a large speculative trader, you would have put a big position together here and you'd be selling it in the overnight. Other than that, you wouldn't be buying size up here. And you wouldn't definitely be putting a swing long position together here because the market's at all-time highs, right? So lately it's become a very crappy market to trade for us. We have to really pick and choose our times, you know? That's good, Jerry. All good here. The ES is relaxing just like you, my friend. And after last week's pump and dump, right? I go and put in the overnight, you know, we jammed it up, we sold a bunch of product, slammed it down, bought it all back up, taking it back up to resell. So maybe not a lot of people are buying this move, right? That's why it's a little slower. We kind of, we kind of took a lot of people's money on Friday, because people bought up here thinking that we were going to be at 65.87 and then they just dumped it. Thursday, Friday was a very penny stock kind of action. And that's really, if you watch my weekend update video, there's a reason for that. It's because these markets are really, really controlled by speculators right now. So we should be aware of that and manage our risk. Hmm. We need a good liquidation. If we can get underneath 64.93, we'll get better price action, especially if we can stay under 64.93. There's no poor high in the overnight, Muhammad. That is a proper high. It's got one, two, three, four, what, 5 ticks of excess? That's not a poor high. A poor high is a double top or 1 tick of excess. Yeah, trap longs means there's supply overhead. Trap shorts means there are people trapped underneath 64.93. So, okay, let's see if London can do anything. Otherwise, we are going to shut her down, let you guys go get some exercise or have a coffee or do something more interesting. Hi, John. Yeah, you were imagining that. Depends on when you're trading, John, and depends on what your trade location is. I think a 3 point stop is huge. Generally, when I trade Globex, I don't have to use more than a 1.5 point stop. So it depends on when you're trading, how volatile it is, and how good your trade location is. Now, if you're an RTH, yeah, well there you go. Right? You're an RTH, and if you're trying to trade the open or anything that's volatile, you might have to use a larger stop. And are you doing the look below and fail? It really depends on the volatility. Okay, here comes London. Let's see if we can do anything. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, if it's volatile, it's probably not the best time for you to be trading, and we've spoken about this. But like the song says, you like the nightlife, you like the boogie. So, right? You get bored trading Globex. And I understand that. There's a lot of times in Globex where it's brutal. But RTH can be a pain in the butt too when it comes to stops and volatility. At this market, I mean, I'll be perfectly frank and honest with you guys. This market has not been easy to trade. I haven't taken a trade yet, and I won't until I see my setup. I don't see my setup here at all, right? I just see chop, right? I see distribution chop, right? Right. It's very clear we've got product down here. We're selling it here. Accumulation under VWAP, distribution above VWAP. There's no trade. So nothing for me to do, right? When it's like that, we'll give this a couple of more minutes. If we can't take that 65.02, we can't take these upper stops. Boom, boom, right? It'll just it'll just go back and forth, right? The wholesalers are making great money because what they're doing is they're selling the product they bought underneath VWAP, right? they're selling what they have here and what they have here, they're selling it up here, right? Let me see if we had singles on Friday. I don't think we had single prints on Friday. Oh, we did. Thank you for pointing that out. Yep, we did. We are inside Friday singles. You're right. Thanks, Lonigan. Pretty slow, pretty slow. Yeah. Yeah, so there's only one high and it's not a poor high. It's right up here, just so you know. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Did we catch some buyers? Can we take out the stops? It's pretty brutal. That's okay. I don't mind a slow Monday. You can ease into the week. Oh, we took one stop by one tick. There we go. Finally, a little action to the upside. Taking the upper stops. So that 64.94 bid undisturbed as London opens. London usually likes to go down and get some cheap inventory. No go. So that's pretty much it for me. Let's see if we take out 65.02 quarter and if that level actually works. If it does, then you just double it into 4 times profit. Do you trade something like look above and acceptance? Oh, like look above and go? That is what you guys would call a breakout, right? I don't trade breakouts. Breakouts are for suckers. That's what I was taught 30 years ago, to sell my stock into a breakout. So the way we work, right, how larger traders work is they position themselves, right? And when the market breaks out, we sell into that. The breakout creates the buying, it creates the liquidity that you can dispose of size. So we are taught to sell our product into a breakout. When you guys are chasing price, that chasing price will trigger stops, that creates buying, then you get FOMO buyers. It creates a nice pool of suckers that you can dump your inventory into. Now, some breakouts do work and they are tradable, right? I'm not saying that they're not, but generally, as a rule, right, if the price action is slow, right, I'm not going to trade a breakout. If I'm long, say I had built a long position between 97 and 99, I'd be selling into this breakout. I'd have my sell orders out. So as the market goes out, I sell into it. I like to look below and fail to go long because you know why? Because you're getting a discount. So Oman, when you go to the store, do you want to pay full retail or do you want to get a discount? If you think about it logically, there's a good question you asked. If you think about it logically, an intelligent buyer wants a discount. Someone who's easily suckered in will just chase price, right? Like a dog chasing, you know, a treat, right? So you want to change the way you think because we've been trained to just jump in there and buy and chase price and stand in line to buy an iPhone, all this stupid stuff, right? You've been trained, right? From the time we're little kids, they train us. You know, you want your parents to buy this crappy cereal, watch this TV show, want this toy. People stand in line to buy things, right? So we need to think like the seller, not the consumer. That will change your trading, right? So see how it's going back and forth over this 6502 level, right? Because they're selling into that. The traders who are long, where is it? The traders who are long here and the traders who are long here, they're selling into this. Now, if this was RTH and we maybe had more buyers, maybe you'd get some steam behind that breakout. This breakout still might work, right? But how long do you want to spend in it? So say you were long, say you wanted to go long, I'd wait till it gets over 6503 so you've cleaned out all the suckers, right? And then keep your risk really tight. Yep. Well, folks, that's pretty much it for me. Let's see if they can clean this thing up and let's see. Look, watch the offer. Here's something you could do if you're really bored and you want to learn. Draw a line here, right? Watch the offer and see if the offer can get above that blue line and print. Ooh, there you go. See? So now that's bringing buyers in. The next target will be 4, right? So if we stay above 3, let's see if we can get a print. See, it's offered but no print yet. Oh, there's a print. Somebody bought it, right? Now watch the offer. Can we go to 3 3/4? This is the best indicator of order flow. Sorry. All right, so we can't take that 4 yet. A little bit of selling right there. Very slow. All right, we're still inside that overnight range, just moving inventory back and forth. I think this week we'll get some good price action. I hope as people start coming back into the office, we'll definitely get some moves. Well, we're messing around at these all-time highs. I'll let you guys go a little bit early. Have a great morning. Come see us at the Trading Syndicate. And we will see you at 9 o'clock. Thanks for joining me and hanging out during this really, really slow price action. I appreciate it. And we'll see you folks at 9 o'clock Eastern time for the next session. And we'll have some better price action. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.